because we're in World Play Week, which is a very important week for us to reflect on our life with our children, what children are doing. And I thought about introducing books that will gather essential elements for childhood, important things for us to pay attention to: play, movement, imagination, and creativity. These are four pillars that we will bring today in our framework to think about our children's lives, to think about the importance of play, and how play, Pétria, connects to literature. Absolutely, absolutely. It doesn't seem like it, but playing is the construction of a narrative. The child, when playing, is there creating a language in a creative, imaginative process. It's one of the first connections they have with literature, with the art of writing. And play is the language of childhood. It's a universal language, a language without borders. Children from different countries don't need to talk, they play together. It's a language that unites childhoods. And I wanted to bring, before presenting the books here, a thought for us to be aware of. The writer Maria Emilia Lopez is an Argentine writer, an expert in education, an expert in children's literature. And she will draw attention to the importance of creating a community that involves babies, that involves young children through books, songs, games, stories, games that can be done together. And how this is a form, Pétria, of effective care, as this is a cultural and poetic form also in the lives of these children. And this early childhood is a fundamental stage in children's lives in which they learn to symbolize. And how important that is, because when they learn to symbolize, they're also laying a foundation for thought experience. They're building this into their lives. And what enriches it? Playing, singing, reading, having contact with fictional stories, with playful, with poetic. All of this is building a house of words. This is how the Colombian writer, who is also a teacher and who we already brought here, Yolanda Reyes, recognizes this. Each of us constructs our own house of words. We build subjectivities, we symbolize, and through that, build our own experience. How significant this also is for children, and how much of this can be in books, in stories, in this experience of the external, as Dr. Daniel was discussing here, in this experience of quality in what we offer to our children. Oh, Jana, yesterday Aya's friend came to sleep over, right? But they're grown-ups, already 9 years old. I received Yilvo Harari's book for children from Compañía das Letras. People, it's incredible, relentless. So I said, you know what? I'm going to put Yilvo Harari here for these girls to fall asleep to. Then I went up to page 40 with them, reading to them who can already read, who enjoy reading and everything. That's it. That's a bit of what Daniel said. You exchange affection, express affection, the joy of reading. And that's what Yolanda is saying. She refers to it as a love triangle. Oh, how beautiful. The story, the book, the child, and the adult. You're building affection there. You're constructing a bridge. You're creating history together. For the child, even when they can't read, even when they hear someone read, whether it's their father, mother, or teacher, what sticks is the voice. It's the child's first historical record. And she's going to look at that object that she doesn't recognize yet, a baby, a very small child, and a voice. And she's going to connect one thing to the other. And so begins the story of small children, of babies with books, and this relationship of love that starts to build from there. So I'm going to start here with our books for today, an incredible book called There in My Backyard. It's a research study published by Perapolis. Gabriela Romeu, who is a journalist, researcher, and documentary filmmaker, traveled all over Brazil and went to research what playing is like, what children's backyards are like in each of our regions in the country. She brought back very rich experiences here, observing how children play and how games that we sometimes know have different names in other places. There are other stages of play, other ways it happens. We listened to Gabriela Ramon, and she recounted a little bit of this experience, this research that was turned into a book. As a writer, journalist, and documentary filmmaker, for several years now, I have been researching Brazilian childhoods, entering different territories and sociocultural realities among different ethnic groups, traditional communities, Quilombola communities, urban centers, rural regions of the country, along riverbanks, to get to know the realities, to get to know a little of the world through the eyes of children, one could say. So I've been approaching stories, imaginaries, narratives, also their daily lives and activities and knowledge, and researching a theme that is foundational for childhoods: play. Play is the mother tongue of childhoods. We can communicate with children even if we don't speak the same language through the gestures that transcend time, epochs, and places, the gestures of play. There are many gestures like spinning a top, playing hopscotch, controlling your breath when you jump rope, or swinging. In short, a series of games and toys that belong to humanity's rich legacy. Much of this research, part of this research, is in this book right here, in my backyard. It's the play of girls and boys from the north to the south of the country, where we will get to know a little bit about the games that children like Arawari and Asurini Boy or Laisa from Ciara play. She brings her toys with wheels. This book is an attempt to build bridges between pluriverses of childhood so that children can see themselves, identify themselves, recognize themselves, children from different places in Brazil, and that children can also open windows to different childhoods, different imaginations, and realities. So this is an invitation for us to learn more about ourselves through play. It's like magic. It's so beautiful and meaningful, isn't it? We build ourselves and leave our mark on the world based on these experiences. It's an informative book that has many pictures of these children playing. It shows the games. It has graphical diagrams, schemes of these games, how they happen. I'm going to show you one of the 2-page photos for those of you on YouTube. There are 4 pictures of children playing, making their toys from nature. And this book is extremely valuable to have in schools and in our homes for us to build this together with our children.